Hello, my friends of Battery Labs. My name is Paul Montoya. Please welcome to this tutorial. This tutorial, we are going to do a very interesting model that is the simulation of the contaminant plume from a waste dam, mining waste dam. And here we see the product of the model of the simulation, where we have a contaminant plume that is actually between two rivers, where we see that the plume has two directions while the filtration from here goes downwards and here connects directly to the stream. Okay, so we are going to model that with MODFLOW 6 and based on Voronoi meshes. Okay, great. So let's see and let's start. Okay, let's have a review of the data set. So on the data set that we have on the vector, we have the model extension. Then, okay, this is the model limit. Then we have a line that we are going to use to intersect the cells for the renal flow. Okay, we have some piezometers because we are going to analyze the concentration of the different piezometers. Okay, we have an area for the refinement because actually the grid on the grid will be smaller where we expected that the plume will migrate. Okay, so we are not going, okay, upstream we are not going to make any uh, finer discretization, just downstream. Okay, so this is the refinement. Okay, the waste dump and the cross section because we are going to do some visualization of the cross section, and that's it. Okay, so we can close this. Great. So in the description of the video, let me check why I cannot. Oh, something is going on. Oh, let's change its name. Give me one second. Okay. Okay, so you are going to receive on the description of the video the link to download this file, and then you are going to extract that on your document folder. Great. And the this okay, you need to have this folder with these files at this level. Okay, that is what you need to have. Okay, this folder at this file at this level. Okay, great. um, Great, so we are going to start with Anaconda prompt. CD documents, CD contaminant plume, and then Jupyter Lab. Great. So here we have Jupyter Lab. Okay, so first of all, okay, so you are going to go to scripts and then you are going to create a new notebook that is going to be part 0. Part 0. Okay, great. So what is on part 0? This is a notebook that we are going to use um, to copy some templates. So from mf6Voronoi.utils list templates and copy templates, we are going to list those templates. And these are the templates, so there are only 6 templates. Okay, there will be more, but not that much. Okay, so here we are going to copy the generate Voronoi, and this will be waste dump. Okay, this will be the prefix where that will have the files waste dump. Okay, in this order, because first we generate the model, then we create the we generate the grid, then we create the model, then we do the basic transport, and then we do the PTK generation. Okay, great. So let's generate the model. Okay, so let's go to generate the model. Okay, let's import this. So here, this will be wisdom. The maximum refinement will be 200. Will be 250 because actually the model can work with that. The multiplier will be 1.5 and the overlapping will be false. Okay, great. So I'm going to copy paste. First, we have the limit, that is the model limit. Then we have the layer of the refinement, where on the refinement, the cells will have a radio of 25. On the river network will be 100, on the regional flow, or on the river will be 50, and on the regional flow will be 100. Okay, so one suggestion is that use a different name for every layer. This is the name and this is the file. Okay, great. So let's generate the point cloud. So we are working with 22,000 cells per layer. That's okay. Uh, Based on my experience, we don't need to check to fix the Voronoi, the short side. Okay, it can be that maybe for you, or maybe you use another definition, you are going to get this Fortran error, and then you go back and check and fix the Voronoi short side. But in this case, no. Okay, so we generate the output. Okay, so actually there is an output here that it will be generated a new waste dump shapefile, and we are going to read this shapefile and have visualization of that file. Okay, so here we see the discretization here is 100, 50 meter, and 25 here. Okay, pretty soft, pretty smooth, not much rush. Okay, so now we are going to read the shapefile. We are going to use that shapefile in order to get the Voronoi mesh. No, the Voronoi mesh parameters. Okay, the dictionary of the mesh. Okay, so we are going to save these properties of the mesh in the thisv.json. Okay, so actually we have created here a JSON folder where there is the dictionary of the mesh. Okay, so pretty smooth. Let's see. Now let's go to the model creation. Let's go to the model creation. Here we are going to use two more tools. Okay. Now we open the JSON file. Okay. And then the dem file, there is a dem file here that is called, that is on clip dem 100 meters dot diff. Okay. And on the discretization, we are not going to use 5 layers. We are going to use 11 layers, and this is the distribution of the 11 layers. Okay, the bottom of the model is 150, and the layers will be at these fractions. Okay. So let's see how this look. Okay, later on we are going to see how this look on the. Okay, so on the model, so this will be stored on model files. The bin is in this part. Okay, so okay, there are some problems of no convergence that we can fix this by running once and storing the initial head, the output head as initial head for the coming simulation. However, uh, well, you can do that with more time, but not for this tutorial. So we are going to say that the model has to continue even that it hasn't reached the convergence. Okay, great. So that's it. We are going to simulate the plume for 50 years. Okay. Okay, the model, this we create the groundwater flow model. The is complex with big stub, and then this generated this V. Okay, the initial condition is that the model is saturated, and the K values will be, the first layer will have 4 10 to the minus 4, while the next 4 layer will have 5 10 to the minus 6. The next 4 layer will have 1 10 to the minus 6, then 9 to 10 to the minus 7, and 5 10 to the minus 7. Okay, the first 4 layers are convertible, and uh, the rest remain confined. Okay, so for the model, for the transform model, we need to save flows and save saturation. That is for the transform model. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we can do a representation of the cross section. Okay, so this is the representation of the cross section on where the cross section was located. If you remember, okay, so this is the model. Here we see the first layer with higher K, the next 4 layer with intermediate K, middle K, and lower K. About the storage, the model runs in steady. Not much to say. Okay, so for the recharge, okay, we see that the recharge on the waste dam is higher. Okay, so we are going to so that's why we define the okay. So there is a recharge that depends on the elevation. Okay, so but when they recharge, okay, I'm going to copy this. When the recharge is inside the waste dam, the recharge will be even higher. Yeah, because why? Because the waste rock is very porous. Okay, so actually there is, okay, most of the precipitation actually infiltrate. Okay, and this creates a zone where the recharge can be higher. This is just a conceptualization. So we run this and then we plot our recharge value. Great, so here we have the recharge of the on the waste dam and the recharge on the other area. Okay, great. And here we have as well the evapotranspiration that is also inverse proportional with the elevation, inversely proportional with elevation. Okay, we define the intersection part again here. Okay, the file where the river network is located is in this address. Okay. And here we have the river FPD and the river cells. Okay, so this is the river boundary condition, no, the river network as drainage, because in our conceptualization, it will work as drainage, okay, because that is because of our conceptualization. Okay, here, okay, now we need to insert uh, the regional, um, now we have to insert the regional flow. Okay, so this, okay, so just to mention, mhm. Okay, so there is a model that is a regional, this one, that is the tutorial where we, as you see, we generate the regional water table. Okay, and this regional water table is the one that we are going to use here in our model. Okay, here, okay, this is the regional water table. Okay, and then we are going to apply to the cells that intersect the regional flow, we are going to apply the regional water table. Okay, and to those cells, those will be a general head boundary condition with the elevation of the water table. Okay, so and now we apply that as a GHB, and then we plot our GHB. For example, because the water table intersect the model at different layers, for example, we are going to plot the third layer, okay, and then some cells will intersect with the water table at the third layer, so that's why we see some cell will be intersected and at other at other layers. Some the water table will intersect the model at other layers for other cells. Kind of complicated to. Okay, so on the water table, so this will be all, and that will be all as well. Okay, and let's cross your fingers because actually this is a really long process. So if we do that on the first run, that will be a success. Okay, let's run it. Okay, now it's running. Okay, but yeah, there are some things on the transport model that can be that will need that we fix the flow model and rerun it again. Fix some condition in the flow model, but in the end, because we are going to import for the transport model, we are going to import the flow model. Okay, so we are going to wait till that finish. Okay, there is a problem here. What is the problem? That for the transport model, we need that we have committed or we have to fix something because we need 10 stress periods, okay? Otherwise, we are not going to have results at, okay, at every 5 years. We are only going to have result at the end. Okay, so for that, on the on the here we need to insert 10 stress periods. 10 time steps. Okay, here we insert 10 time steps and rerun again. Okay, kernel run up to selected cells. Okay, we need 10. Okay, otherwise, okay, why we do that? Otherwise, we are not going to have the results on the transport model. Okay, even that you can import the flow model with one time steps, and then you can add more time steps when you run the transport model, but it is better to that it will be consequence the time step the time discretization between the flow and the transport. Okay, great. So now it's running, and let's wait. Okay, it has finished running. Okay, there is a convergence problem. Okay, we got the heads, and that is a problem. Yeah, that the model got stuck. Yeah, and I don't know why, how to. And I think that this, so maybe I have to reinstall my Anaconda because actually got stuck here. Okay, but well, I will explain the next, and maybe this happens only in my computer. Okay, the next step is to represent the um, okay, the heads. Okay, so I will run everything here, and then we are going to plot a cross section to see the cross section, and as well we are going to export the water table as a raster because for the transport model we need a water table. Okay, great. So for me, I'm going to restart and run all cells. Okay, and after running I will show you the results. Okay, all the code will be on the post of these tutorials as well. Okay, it has run. So here we see the distribution of the water table. This is the refinement. Okay, and on the cross section, this is the waste dump. Uh, the what is why the water table is important, because the cells that are on the top of the water table will be assumed as constant concentration. Why? Because the leachate of the waste dump will reach the water table. Okay, and the and it will uh, and it will be continuous, so the concentration will be constant, maybe. Okay, so and this will and then the migration of the contaminant plume will start. Okay, so that is why here for the okay, so here for the cells that are below the waste dam, okay, they will be conceptualized as initial concentration of 1200 milligrams per liter of sulfates and a constant concentration of 1200 milligrams per liter of sulfates as well. Okay, great. And then we export the water table as a with the as a raster. Okay, we could have used the water table, the reader model as well. Yeah, that is possible as well. Okay, let's go now to the transport model. So this is the P6. The P6 is the transport model, and let's start with that. So let's see this. Okay, so we are going to get from the model files. Okay, the bin file is important because we are going to run the model, the bin file, and the transform model will be in the folder trans file. Okay, we run the cell as well. We get the model name, so there is only one name. We list the names of the model. There is only one name, that is the flow model. Then we import the flow model. We open the JSON, and then we create the transport model. Okay, so now we are going to create the transport model where the well, these options will remain, as well the discretization will come from the, for example, the number of layers come from the groundwater transport model, the top and the bottom, but the NCPL and vertices, those come from the mesh, right? On the starting concentration, okay, the starting concentration is, okay, so now we run this, then, okay, wait, I think that may, okay, let's go back. Okay, that is okay. Okay, that is okay. Trans files, okay. Okay, here, okay, we are going to, for the cells that are inside the, for the cells that are inside the water, the waste dam, and intersect with the water table, the initial concentration is 1200. So in my case, in order to, because I have already run the cell, I am going to restart the kernel and run to, no, restart kernel and run to selected cells, because otherwise, when you run the cell twice, it will somehow create an error in flow pipe. Mhm. Okay, so here we are going to plot the layer 2, and then we are going to see on, no, well, the index 2, that is the layer 3, the cells of the layer 3 that intersect with the water table, where the initial concentration is 1200. Let's see that. Takes some time. I don't know why. Maybe I have to, well, that can happen to me as well. Uh, okay, so these are the cells of the layer 3 that intersect with the water table, where the initial concentration is 1200. Okay. So let's see upstream. The porosity here is 0.05. Okay, because we are talking about a rock. Okay, and the secant source, we are not going to define secant source packet, or we define that as empty, because maybe the flow pipe code actually require that you have the secant source. we are going to work with the constant concentration, okay, and as well for the cells that are inside the waste dam and intersect the water table. For those cells, the constant concentration will be 100 to 1000 as well. So we are going to plot the constant concentration cell for the layer 3, index 2. Okay, these are the ones. Okay, so for the these are for there are some piezometers where the name of the piezometer is the field is name, is on the name column, and the screen elevation is the elevation of the screen. Okay, so that's it. And then we are going to insert that as a observation point. Okay, so and this will be located at layer 6, index 5, 6, 4. Okay, so let's see here. The output concentration is okay, so we are going to get the last concentration for the last one. Okay, but doesn't matter because for every time step it will record the concentrations on the different observations. Okay, so for the head and the budget, these are the heads for the flow model and the budget for the flow model. That's it. This is for the flow imbalance. Okay, and then we run the simulation. Okay. Great is running. Okay, great. So there is a convergence problem. And as you see, okay, even though that it has finished, okay, so we have to let it finish because otherwise if we run the next one, it will get stuck. Okay, so we got the times, we got the data, and then we are going to read the, we are going to for the, we are going to plot, but just for the model refinement, okay, because otherwise, I mean, the contaminant plume is not in the whole extension of the model. Okay, so we run this and this, okay, and here we are going to see the distribution of the contaminant plume. Great, okay, that is amazing. Okay, so that's it. Great. So now let's go. Okay, so this is a representation of the contaminant plume, but okay, our analysis we are going to do it in on the uh, we are going to do on the VTK on the 3D. Okay, so that is why we go to the VTK visualization. Okay, so we need some tools. We run this. Okay, so we are going to open the trans files. Actually, we are not going to run anything, but this will be the right path of the executable. Okay, so the models, there are two models, the flow and the transport model. Okay, the package are these ones. Okay, and then here we have the head, the for the heads we are going to, okay, there is only one stress period but 9 stress time steps. Okay, we are going to generate the geometry. Okay, as well the parameters and the boundary conditions for the only stress period. For the recharge, evapotranspiration, drain, and general head. And then we are going to get the heads and the water table. Okay, great. So now let's open the transport model. Great. Now let's get the concentration for this time. Okay, and then we are going to generate an array for the concentration of 50. Okay, great. So we are going to, for the concentration, we are going to do a concentration 50 years. So, okay, so this will generate, what this will do, it will generate on the VTK folder a file that is concentration 50 years VTK. Now we are going to generate some contours. We can generate some contours as well for the 4 layer. Okay, and as well we can, now we are generate some raster, and this raster will be on output, and it will be concentration of layer 4 clip, and then we can generate some concentration layer 4 and concentration layer 4. Okay, it actually creates two because you have inserted a limit layer, and as well you have the contours. Okay, so these are some outputs. Okay, so let's see on Paraview. Let's have, let's view our model. Okay, great. So we go to open documents, PTK. So here we see the geometry. This is the model geometry. Okay, that is the model geometry for you to see. This is the drainage network. Okay, we can open the general head boundary. We can open as well the recharge, but from the recharge we can do a threshold of the recharge. I mean, because we are more interested in the boundary on the waste dam, so this is just the waste dam. Okay, so we can open the water table. And then we can decrease the opacity as well. And then we can open the concentration of 50 years. Okay, great. So this concentration, we are going to make a threshold because there are negative concentrations. So actually this doesn't exist. So it will be from 20 to 1020. And this, or maybe 424, I guess. 30. Okay, so this is the extension of the contaminant plume, as you see. Okay, so and then you can play around with the water table and so with the with other parameters. So finally we are going to see we go to the scripts and then we generate the last one, that is part X. And on part X we are going to explore the the output on the piezometers. So we open the output of the piezometers. So here we have the concentration for the different piezometers. Okay, we generate, okay, we instead of seconds, we want to work with years. Okay, so we have the concentration in years, and we can get a nice plot of the concentration layers on the different piezometers with time. Okay, that is amazing. Okay, so far this is a really complete tutorial. I really congratulate you for being till the end. Okay, what is my intention is that you follow all the steps and then you understand the process and then you apply this to your own projects. Just to tell you that we are a knowledge platform in water resources. So if you want to support our uh, if you want to support our initiatives and our research, you can take any of our courses that we have in our website of elearning.hatarilabs.com and shop.hatarilabs.com. Please have a great day and hope to see you in coming webinars, tutorials, and so on. Que viva el software libre.